Transform your life with one small word. Unleashing the true power of saying no. Stoic. Imagine living in a world where you're constantly pulled in different directions by the demands of work, family, and social obligations. It's exhausting, isn't it? But what if I told you that a single, simple word could transform this chaotic existence into a more peaceful, focused life? That word is no. In this video, we're going to explore the profound impact of learning to say no, not as an act of rejection, but as a powerful affirmation of self-respect and personal freedom. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, we'll uncover how mastering the art of saying no can help you reclaim your time, reduce stress, and align your actions with your true values and goals. Get ready to unleash the true power of no and transform your life. One, the power of no and self-respect. Imagine a life where you feel constantly pulled in multiple directions, overwhelmed by the endless demands of work, family, and social obligations. Now, consider the transformative power of a simple yet profound word, no. This single word can be a beacon of self-respect and personal freedom. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the revered Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This timeless wisdom emphasizes the necessity of valuing oneself enough to establish clear boundaries. When we consistently agree to others' requests at the expense of our own needs, we dilute our priorities and weaken our resolve. Learning to say no is not about rejecting others. It's about affirming our worth and prioritizing our goals. This small but mighty word enables us to focus on what truly matters, aligning our actions with our values. It's an act of self-respect that fosters a sense of control and reduces the stress that comes from overcommitment. By saying no to distractions, we open the door to our goals and personal growth. Consider the story of Socrates, who famously stated, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life." This insight underscores the importance of focusing on what truly enriches our lives rather than being endlessly busy with trivial matters. In today's fast-paced world, this lesson is more relevant than ever. By mastering the art of saying no, we free ourselves to pursue endeavors that align with our true purpose and aspirations. Reflect on your own life. How often do you find yourself overwhelmed by obligations that drain your energy and divert your focus from your most important goals? Saying no can be a revolutionary act of self-care. It allows us to reclaim our time and energy, channeling them towards activities that genuinely matter to us. This is not an act of selfishness. It's a profound declaration of self-worth. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, "He who is not a slave to himself is free." This quote reminds us that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to govern our own lives. By setting boundaries and learning to say no, we gain the freedom to live according to our own terms, rather than being at the mercy of others' demands. In practical terms, this might mean declining an extra project at work that would encroach on your family time, or saying no to a social engagement that doesn't resonate with your interests. Each no is a step towards a more intentional and fulfilling life. It's about making choices that reflect your values and priorities. Imagine the relief of a day where your schedule is not dictated by others' expectations, but by your own carefully considered decisions. This shift in mindset allows for greater focus and productivity. It enables us to devote our best energy to the pursuits that are most meaningful to us, whether that's advancing in our careers, nurturing our relationships, or simply finding time for ourselves. It's crucial to remember that saying no also sets a powerful example for those around us. It teaches our children, colleagues, and friends the importance of self-respect and boundary setting. When we demonstrate that we value our time and energy, we empower others to do the same. The ancient wisdom of the Stoics is a guide to modern life. As Seneca aptly put it, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By embracing the power of no, we ensure that our time is spent on the things that truly matter, cultivating a life of purpose and fulfillment. In conclusion, the ability to say no is a crucial skill for anyone seeking to lead a balanced, fulfilling life. It is a powerful tool for self-respect and personal growth. By prioritizing our own needs and goals, we align our actions with our values, reduce stress, and reclaim our sense of control. Remember, each time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to something that does. This simple shift can transform your life, unlocking the true power of saying no and unleashing your potential for greatness. 2. No as a path to authenticity. Saying no is not just a refusal, it is a powerful declaration of your commitment to living authentically and staying true to yourself. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized that living in harmony with our nature and values is fundamental to a fulfilling life. When you say yes to things that don't align with who you truly are, you create inner conflict and discontent. This inner turmoil stems from the disconnect between your actions and your authentic self. By embracing the power of no, you preserve your integrity, ensuring that your actions genuinely reflect your desires and beliefs. This practice not only safeguards your authenticity, but also fosters a profound sense of inner peace and contentment. Imagine the freedom of no longer feeling pressured to meet others' expectations, the relief of being true to your own values without compromise. Consider the story of Sarah, a dedicated professional who always said yes to additional projects at work, social events she had no interest in, and even to favors that drained her energy. She believed saying yes made her more likable and indispensable. However, this constant acquiescence led to burnout, resentment, and a feeling of losing herself. One day, after reading about the Stoic philosophy, she decided to change. She started small, saying no to tasks that were beyond her job description and to social gatherings she didn't enjoy. At first it was difficult, and she feared judgment from her peers, but over time she noticed a shift. She felt more in control of her life, more at peace with her decisions, and importantly, more authentic. Her relationships improved as she was now more present and genuine. Sarah's story is a testament to the transformative power of saying no. It's a step towards reclaiming your time, energy, and true self. Reflect on your own life. Are there situations where you say yes when you really want to say no? What drives that decision, and how does it make you feel? These are important questions to consider as you explore the power of no in your own life. By setting boundaries, you not only protect your well-being, but also ensure that your commitments are meaningful and aligned with your true self. Saying no can be challenging, especially when it involves people you care about or respect. However, it's important to remember that declining a request isn't about rejecting the person. It's about honoring your own needs and priorities. The practice of saying no is a journey towards living a life that is authentically yours. It's about making choices that resonate with your values and aspirations, rather than succumbing to external pressures. This path leads to genuine happiness and peace, as you no longer carry the burden of others' expectations. In essence, learning to say no is an essential step in living a life that is true to yourself. It empowers you to make decisions that reflect your authentic desires and beliefs, fostering a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment. So, the next time you face a request that doesn't align with your values or priorities, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself if saying yes would serve your true self or if it's a response driven by external expectations. Embrace the courage to say no and witness how it transforms your life, bringing you closer to a state of authenticity and peace. What are some areas in your life where you can start practicing the power of no? How might this small but significant change impact your overall well-being and happiness? By pondering these questions and making conscious choices, you can begin to live a life that truly reflects who you are, grounded in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. 3. No and mental clarity. The profound simplicity yet immense power held within a single word, no, This isn't just a word. It's a tool, a shield, and a means of preserving your mental clarity and focus. Think about this. What is Stoicism, if not a philosophy that teaches us to master our internal world, to remain unshaken by external chaos? As the wise Marcus Aurelius once said, "The mind is its own place and can create a heaven or hell within us." This ancient wisdom underscores the importance of mental clarity, a state we can achieve by learning to say no. Now let's delve deeper. When was the last time you found yourself overwhelmed with commitments, unable to think clearly because your mind was so cluttered with the tasks and obligations? This is a common scenario in today's fast-paced world, where saying yes to every opportunity often seems like the path to success. However, this habit can lead to mental chaos, making it difficult to maintain focus and make sound decisions. What is Stoicism teaching us here? It's about the power of selective engagement. By learning to say no to unnecessary commitments, we can declutter our mental space, allowing room for strategic thinking and reflection. Consider the analogy of a desk covered in papers, books, and miscellaneous items. Such a desk is not conducive to productive work. Similarly, a mind cluttered with too many responsibilities cannot function at its best. By clearing the desk, you create a space where you can work more effectively. In the same vein, by saying no, you create mental space for what truly matters. This act of decluttering is not just about removing the unnecessary, but also about making room for clarity, creativity, and focused problem-solving. Mental clarity, thus achieved, is crucial for navigating life's challenges with a calm and focused mind. It allows us to approach problems not with anxiety, but with a balanced perspective. How often have you faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable, only to find a solution once you had a moment of clear thinking? This is the essence of Stoicism, maintaining a tranquil mind amidst the storm. By saying no strategically, you preserve this tranquility, enabling yourself to handle life's hurdles more effectively. The lesson here is crystal clear. Saying no is not about rejecting opportunities, but about protecting your mental space to stay focused on what truly matters. It is a lesson in prioritization and self-respect. When you say no to what doesn't serve your higher purpose, you are saying yes to mental clarity, peace, and effective problem-solving. This is a powerful shift in perspective, one that can transform your life significantly. Embracing the power of no means recognizing your limits and understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's about setting boundaries that protect your mental and emotional well-being. This, in turn, allows you to show up more fully for the commitments and responsibilities that truly align with your goals and values. What is Stoicism's role in this transformative process? It provides the philosophical framework that supports the mindful practice of saying no. By embracing Stoic teachings, you learn to discern what is within your control and what is not, allowing you to make decisions that preserve your mental clarity and focus. In conclusion, remember that the ability to say no is instrumental in maintaining mental clarity and focus. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, our mind can create a heaven or hell within us. By saying no to unnecessary commitments, we declutter our mental space, making room for strategic thinking and reflection. This clarity is crucial for effective problem-solving and maintaining a balanced perspective. Therefore, the next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and consider the power of no. It might just be the key to unlocking a clearer, more focused, and ultimately more fulfilling life. How will you use the power of no to transform your life? Share your thoughts, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery together. If you've watched up to this point, you're already on the path to transforming your life with the power of saying no. Comment below with "empowered" to affirm your commitment to mastering this powerful Stoic principle. Don't go anywhere. There's still a wealth of knowledge we want to share with you in this video. Stay until the end to uncover the secrets that will unleash your true potential. 4. The power of no in enhancing creativity. The ability to say no is not just about setting boundaries or managing time, it also plays a crucial role in fostering creativity. Creativity thrives in an environment where focus and mental clarity are prioritized, and saying no is a vital tool in creating such an environment. Consider the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." This quote highlights the importance of focus and the detriments of spreading oneself too thin. When your attention is scattered across numerous commitments and distractions, it becomes challenging to find the mental space necessary for creative thinking and innovation. Imagine an artist who is constantly interrupted by requests and obligations. Each interruption breaks their flow and disrupts their creative process. By learning to say no, this artist can protect their creative time, ensuring that they have the uninterrupted space needed to explore ideas and produce their best work. Reflect on the story of Maria, a writer working on her first novel. Initially, Maria struggled to make progress because she couldn't refuse requests for her time, whether it was attending social events, helping friends with errands, or taking on additional work projects. These constant interruptions left her feeling drained and uninspired. Realizing the impact on her creativity, Maria decided to start saying no. She created a dedicated writing schedule and politely declined activities that interfered with her creative time. The result was profound. With fewer distractions, Maria's mind became a fertile ground for creativity. She experienced a surge of new ideas and a deeper connection to her writing. Her novel began to take shape, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose and inspiration. Reflect on your own life. How often do interruptions and external demands impede your creative pursuits? How might saying no create the mental space needed for your creativity to flourish? Saying no is about more than just rejecting requests. It's about valuing your creative time and protecting it from encroachment. This practice allows you to enter a state of flow, where your mind can wander, explore, and innovate without the constant pull of external demands. The power of no also helps in maintaining a healthy work-life balance, which is essential for sustained creativity. Overcommitting can lead to burnout, which stifles creative thought and innovation. By setting boundaries and saying no when necessary, you ensure that you have the energy and enthusiasm to engage fully with your creative projects. In practical terms, this might mean declining a social engagement to spend an evening painting, saying no to additional work tasks to focus on a personal project, or turning off notifications during your creative hours. Each no is an investment in your creative potential, allowing you to produce work that is truly reflective of your talents and passions. Consider the advice of Pablo Picasso, who said, "Without great solitude, no serious work is possible." By embracing solitude and saying no to distractions, you create an environment where serious, meaningful creative work can thrive. In conclusion, the power of no is indispensable for enhancing creativity. It allows you to protect your creative time, maintain focus, and avoid burnout. By valuing and prioritizing your creative pursuits, you open the door to greater innovation and artistic expression. What are some areas in your life where saying no could enhance your creative potential? How can you create an environment that fosters your creativity by setting clear boundaries? Reflect on these questions and share your thoughts. Let's continue to explore the transformative power of no together. 5. The power of no in promoting self-care. Saying no is a fundamental aspect of self-care, an essential practice for maintaining your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. In a world that often glorifies busyness and constant availability, the ability to say no is a powerful act of self-preservation and love. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus, who said, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." This profound statement underscores the importance of taking care of oneself in order to be effective in all other areas of life. If you neglect your own needs, you will eventually be unable to serve others effectively or achieve your own goals. Imagine a life where you are constantly saying yes to every request and demand. Over time, this can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a deep sense of resentment. By contrast, learning to say no allows you to prioritize your well-being and ensure that you have the energy and resources to take care of yourself. Consider the story of Emma, a nurse who was always eager to help others, both at work and in her personal life. She would often agree to extra shifts, volunteer for community events, and assist her friends and family with their needs. While her intentions were noble, this relentless giving left her feeling drained and stressed. Emma began to notice that her health was suffering, and she was becoming increasingly irritable and unhappy. Realizing the unsustainable nature of her lifestyle, Emma decided to start saying no. She began to set boundaries at work, limiting her extra shifts and ensuring she had time for rest and relaxation. She also learned to politely decline requests that she couldn't fulfill without compromising her own well-being. As a result, Emma's health improved, and she found more joy and fulfillment in her personal and professional life. Reflect on your own life. Are there times when you say yes at the expense of your own well-being? How might your overall health and happiness improve if you practiced saying no more often? Saying no is not about being selfish, it is about recognizing your own limits and respecting your need for self-care. By doing so, you ensure that you can show up fully and effectively in all areas of your life. This practice helps to prevent burnout and allows you to maintain a healthy balance between your responsibilities and your personal needs. The power of no also extends to creating space for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Whether it's setting aside time for exercise, meditation, hobbies, or simply relaxing, saying no to non-essential commitments allows you to invest in your well-being. This investment pays off in the form of increased energy, improved mood, and greater resilience to stress. In practical terms, this might mean saying no to working late hours, declining social invitations that leave you feeling drained, or setting boundaries with loved ones to ensure you have time for self-care. Each no is a step towards a more balanced and fulfilling life. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By saying no to external pressures and demands, you reclaim your power and create a life that aligns with your values and priorities. In conclusion, the power of no is a vital component of self-care. It allows you to set boundaries, prioritize your well-being, and create a balanced life. By recognizing and respecting your own needs, you ensure that you can show up as your best self in all areas of your life. What are some areas in your life where you need to practice saying no to prioritize self-care? How can this simple yet profound shift enhance your overall well-being? Reflect on these questions and share your thoughts. Let's continue to explore the transformative power of no together. 6. Prevents resentment. Have you ever found yourself agreeing to things you didn't want to do, only to feel a gnawing sense of resentment afterward? It's a common scenario. A friend asks for a favor, a colleague requests extra help, or a family member demands your time. Despite your initial hesitation, you say yes. You put your needs aside, and in that moment, you prioritize someone else's desires over your own. But what happens next? You're left with a heavy heart and a mind full of regret. Resentment starts to build, and it can be a slow poison that eats away at your happiness and mental peace. This is why learning to say no is so crucial. By saying no, you protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Consider the story of John, a dedicated employee who always took on extra work at his office. He believed that by saying yes to every task, he would be seen as reliable and indispensable. However, this constant agreeing came at a personal cost. John missed family dinners, neglected his health, and felt increasingly resentful toward his colleagues and employer. His performance started to suffer, and his once cheerful demeanor turned sullen. It wasn't until John learned the power of saying no that he began to reclaim his life. He started to set boundaries, only taking on tasks that were feasible and aligned with his goals. His productivity improved, his relationships flourished, and he felt a renewed sense of contentment. Saying no can be daunting, especially if you're a people-pleaser by nature, but think of it as a form of self-respect. When you say no, you're not just rejecting a task or a request. You're affirming your own needs and priorities. This doesn't mean you should become inflexible or unhelpful. It's about finding a balance where you can be supportive of others while still honoring your own limits. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Often, it's your own peace of mind or valuable personal time that gets sacrificed. Imagine a scenario where you're constantly overloaded with commitments, you're stressed, irritable, and there's barely any time left for you to relax or pursue your passions. In this state, how effective can you really be in helping others? By saying no when necessary, you preserve your energy for the things that truly matter. You become more effective, more present, and ultimately, more reliable. People will start to see you as someone who values their own time and well-being, and they'll respect your boundaries more. One practical approach to saying no is to be honest and straightforward. Instead of making up excuses, explain why you can't take on the task. For example, you might say, "I would love to help, but I have other commitments that need my attention." This not only sets clear boundaries, but also maintains the respect and understanding of the person making the request. It's about being assertive without being aggressive. In the context of modern life, saying no can also prevent the resentment that builds up from overcommitment. We live in a world where being busy is often equated with being successful. However, this constant busyness can lead to burnout and dissatisfaction. By strategically saying no, you create space for meaningful activities and relationships. You make room for self-care, which is essential for long-term success and happiness. To summarize, the key lesson here is that saying no is a powerful tool for maintaining your emotional health and personal boundaries. It helps you prevent resentment and stay true to your priorities. Remember, you have the right to protect your time and energy. By doing so, you not only improve your own life, but also become more effective and present for others. So, the next time you're faced with a request that doesn't align with your goals or capacities, don't hesitate to say no. It's not just a word. It's a commitment to yourself and your well-being. If you've made it this far, you're already taking the first steps towards harnessing the true power of saying no. Comment strong boundaries below to show your commitment to this life-changing Stoic practice, and stick around. There's so much more wisdom coming up that will help you take control of your life and unlock your true potential. 7. The power of no in building true relationships. Saying no can be a cornerstone in developing genuine and meaningful relationships. Imagine a scenario where you always say yes to every request, favor, or demand. Initially, it might seem like you are building connections, but over time, this habit can lead to superficial relationships built on obligation rather than mutual respect and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This wisdom teaches us to remain true to our principles and not be swayed by others' expectations or demands. By learning to say no, we create relationships based on authenticity rather than resentment or compulsion. Consider the story of Lisa, a person who always agreed to help her friends and family, no matter how inconvenient the request. Over time, she began to feel taken for granted and started resenting those around her. Her relationships became strained because they were built on her constant acquiescence rather than mutual respect. One day, Lisa decided to start saying no when she genuinely couldn't or didn't want to comply with a request. Initially, it was challenging, and some people reacted negatively. However, over time, her relationships transformed. Those who valued her for her true self remained, and the connections grew stronger and more genuine. She found that people began to respect her boundaries and appreciate her honesty. In today's world, the fear of missing out, FOMO, often drives us to say yes more than we should. We worry about losing friends or opportunities if we decline. However, true relationships are not built on endless compliance, but on mutual respect and understanding. By saying no, we teach others to respect our boundaries and, in turn, learn to respect theirs. Reflect on your own life. Are there relationships where you feel overwhelmed or taken advantage of because you can't say no? How might these relationships improve if you started setting boundaries and being more honest about your capacity and desires? Saying no doesn't mean shutting people out or being unkind. It's about communicating your limits and needs clearly. For example, if a friend asks for a favor that you can't fulfill, you might say, "I wish I could help, but I'm currently swamped with other commitments." This way you express your boundaries without rejecting the person. The practice of saying no also helps in filtering out relationships that are not built on genuine respect. When you start setting boundaries, those who truly care about you will understand and respect your decisions. Those who don't may drift away, but this is a natural process of refining your social circle to those who value you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. Moreover, the ability to say no reinforces your own sense of self-worth. It reminds you that your time and energy are valuable and that you deserve relationships where both parties respect each other's boundaries. This self-respect is the foundation of all healthy relationships. In conclusion, the power of no is vital in building true, meaningful relationships. It helps establish boundaries, promotes mutual respect, and ensures that your connections are based on genuine understanding rather than obligation. By learning to say no, you cultivate relationships that are enriching and supportive, aligning with the core principles of Stoic philosophy. So, the next time you're faced with a request that you genuinely cannot or do not want to fulfill, remember that saying no is not just a refusal, but a step towards deeper, more authentic connections. How might this simple word transform your relationships and bring you closer to the people who truly matter? Reflect on this and share your thoughts. Let's continue this journey towards building meaningful and respectful relationships together. 8. The power of no in achieving personal goals. The word no is a powerful ally in the pursuit of personal goals and aspirations. In a world filled with distractions and demands, mastering the art of saying no is essential for staying focused and achieving what truly matters to you. Consider the philosophy of Epictetus, a prominent Stoic thinker who said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This statement emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals and taking decisive actions toward them. To do so effectively, one must learn to say no to distractions and tasks that do not align with these goals. Imagine a life where you are continuously bombarded with requests, favors, and invitations that divert your attention from your primary objectives. Without the ability to say no, you risk spreading yourself too thin and losing sight of your personal aspirations. By contrast, saying no allows you to allocate your time and energy toward activities that propel you forward on your chosen path. Take the story of Alex, a young entrepreneur with a vision of building a successful tech startup. Initially, Alex found it difficult to refuse requests from friends and family, whether it was attending social gatherings or helping with unrelated projects. These distractions began to take a toll on his progress, causing delays and increasing stress. Realizing the impact of these diversions, Alex decided to embrace the power of no. He began to set boundaries, politely declining invitations and requests that did not contribute to his business goals. As a result, he found more time to focus on his startup, leading to significant breakthroughs and progress. His dedication paid off, and Alex's company began to thrive, all because he prioritized his goals and learned to say no to distractions. Reflect on your own journey. Are there moments when you find yourself sidetracked by tasks that do not serve your long-term goals? How might your progress accelerate if you practiced saying no to these diversions? Saying no requires courage and clarity. It involves recognizing that every moment spent on low-priority activities is a moment taken away from your pursuit of greatness. By consciously choosing to say no, you create space for deep work and meaningful progress. The practice of saying no also strengthens your resolve and commitment to your goals. It serves as a constant reminder of what truly matters to you and reinforces your dedication to achieving it. This focus and determination are crucial for overcoming obstacles and staying on course. In practical terms, this might mean declining a meeting that doesn't align with your strategic priorities, saying no to a social event that conflicts with your work schedule, or avoiding the temptation to scroll through social media during productive hours. Each no is a step towards reclaiming your time and directing it towards your personal growth and success. Consider the words of Seneca, who wisely noted, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By saying no to time-wasting activities, you ensure that your time is spent on what truly matters, maximizing your potential and achieving your personal goals. In conclusion, learning to say no is a powerful tool for anyone striving to achieve their personal goals. It helps you stay focused, manage your time effectively, and maintain a strong commitment to your aspirations. By prioritizing your own needs and saying no to distractions, you align your actions with your values and pave the way for meaningful progress. What are some areas in your life where you can start practicing the power of no to achieve your personal goals? How might this simple yet profound shift impact your journey toward success? Reflect on these questions and share your thoughts. Let's continue to explore the transformative power of no together. 9. No and self-discipline. Saying no is a vital component of self-discipline and self-control. Imagine a life where you are in control of your decisions, where you have the power to steer your own destiny without to distractions or temptations. This is the essence of self-discipline, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that Marcus Aurelius himself championed. At its heart lies a simple yet profoundly powerful word: no. Saying no is not merely a refusal. It is an affirmation of your priorities and a test of your willpower, sir. When you say no to the trivial and the transient, you are saying yes to what truly matters. Consider the story of Jane, a busy professional and mother of two. Every day, she was bombarded with requests and distractions, from social media notifications to extra work assignments. Initially, she found it hard to say no. She would let others down or miss out on opportunities. But as the demands on her time grew, so did her stress and sense of being overwhelmed. Realizing that she was losing focus on her most important goals, spending quality time with her family and advancing her career, Jane decided to embrace the power of no. It's small, saying no to checking her phone during family dinners and declining non-essential work meetings. Gradually, Jane found that by setting these boundaries, she had more time and energy for what truly mattered. Relationships improved, and her work performance soared, all because she mastered the art of saying no. By saying no to temptations and distractions, we can bolster our willpower and enhance our self-control, just as Marcus Aurelius advocated. This disciplined approach is vital for staying focused on our long-term goals and resisting the allure of immediate gratification. In modern society, where distractions are ubiquitous, the ability to say no becomes even more critical. How often do we find ourselves pulled away from meaningful tasks by the incessant ping of a notification or the lure of a new TV series? These small diversions, seemingly harmless, can accumulate, leading us away from our true path. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. What are the distractions that often derail you from your goals? How might your life improve if you said no to just a few of these each day? Perhaps it's saying no to that extra hour of scrolling through social media, or no to another drink at the bar. Each no is a step towards reclaiming your time and energy, directing them instead towards your aspirations and imagine the compounded effect of these small decisions over a year. The practice of saying no transforms from a series of isolated acts into a habit of self-discipline that permeates all aspects of your life. You begin to see the fruits of your labor, achieving personal milestones, cultivating deeper relationships, and experiencing a sense of fulfillment and purpose. This is the true power of no. It is a means of clearing the path to your most significant and rewarding achievements. In conclusion, learning to say no is essential for developing self-discipline and maintaining focus on our long-term goals. It is a powerful tool that helps us resist the pull of immediate gratification and stay true to our priorities. So ask yourself, what are you willing to say no to today in order to say yes to a brighter, more focused tomorrow? How can you harness the power of no to transform your life and achieve your highest potential? Remember, every no is not just a rejection of the unnecessary, it is an embrace of what truly matters. Embrace the discipline of no, as your life aligns more closely with your values and aspirations, leading you to the success and fulfillment you seek. 10. The role of no in emotional balance. Imagine a life where you possess the unshakable confidence to say no without guilt or hesitation, a life where your emotional well-being is prioritized and protected. In our journey of personal transformation, there's a small yet mighty word that holds the key to unleashing true power and freedom: no. By embracing the art of saying no, we unlock a path to greater emotional balance and resilience. Saying no is not merely a refusal, it is an affirmation of our boundaries and a declaration of self-respect. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound wisdom underscores the importance of emotional resilience and the ability to remain undisturbed by external pressures. By consciously choosing to say no to situations and people that drain our emotional energy, we safeguard our emotional health and prevent the insidious creep of burnout. This practice is crucial in maintaining a stable and positive emotional state, which is indispensable for our overall well-being. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with demands on our time and energy. Whether it's at work, in our personal lives, or within our social circles, the pressure to conform and comply can be overwhelming. However, by setting clear boundaries and saying no when necessary, we reclaim our power and create space for what truly matters. As Seneca wisely noted, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." This reminds us that spreading ourselves too thin diminishes our effectiveness and drains our vitality. By prioritizing our emotional health and setting boundaries, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and stability, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with a calm and focused mind. Consider the impact of constantly saying yes to every request and obligation. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion, resentment, and a sense of being overwhelmed. Conversely, saying no empowers us to allocate our resources, time, energy, and attention more judiciously. It is a form of self-care that acknowledges our limits and respects our needs. By doing so, we not only preserve our emotional well-being, but also enhance our capacity to contribute meaningfully to the areas of our lives that matter most. Moreover, the practice of saying no fosters resilience by reinforcing our autonomy and sense of control. When we assert our boundaries, we send a powerful message to ourselves and others that our well-being is a priority. This act of self-assertion builds our confidence and fortifies our emotional defenses against the stresses and strains of daily life. As Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." By choosing to say no when appropriate, we take control of our responses and ensure that we are not unduly influenced by external pressures. Incorporating the word no into our vocabulary is not about being selfish or uncooperative. It is about honoring our emotional needs and fostering a healthier, more balanced life. This practice enables us to be more present and engaged in the moments that truly matter. It allows us to dedicate our time and energy to pursuits that align with our values and goals, ultimately leading to greater fulfillment and happiness. By learning to say no, we create a positive ripple effect in our lives, enhancing our emotional resilience and overall well-being. In modern life, where the demands on our attention are relentless, mastering the art of saying no is a vital skill. It is a protective measure that shields us from the detrimental effects of overcommitment and emotional depletion. As we navigate the complexities of contemporary living, let us remember the wisdom of the Stoics and the power of no. By doing so, we can achieve a harmonious balance between our external obligations and our internal needs, fostering a life of emotional stability and resilience. In conclusion, saying no is not a sign of weakness or indifference. It is a powerful tool for safeguarding our emotional balance and well-being. By embracing this practice, we honor our boundaries, protect our emotional health, and cultivate a resilient and peaceful mind. As we journey through life, let us remember that the true power of no lies in its ability to empower us, allowing us to live authentically and in harmony with our deepest values and aspirations. Thank you for being part of today's video. Before we wrap up, I want to thank you for your participation in our community. Feel free to share your thoughts on the power of saying no, or simply comment, "I am a newbie," if you're new, or "I am a Stoic," if you've been around. Your interaction is a great source of motivation for us. Let's continue this journey together, shall we? 10 ways to say no for people who fear rejecting others. Saying no can be a daunting task, especially for those who fear rejecting others. However, mastering this skill is essential for maintaining personal boundaries and well-being. In this guide, we'll explore 10 practical strategies to help you say no with confidence and grace. From understanding your priorities to using I statements and anticipating reactions, each method is designed to empower you to protect your time and energy. Drawing on the wisdom of Stoic philosophers and modern thinkers, these techniques will equip you with the tools you need to navigate life's demands while honoring your own needs. 1. Understand your priorities. Understanding your priorities is the first crucial step in mastering the art of saying no. When you have a clear grasp of what truly matters to you, it becomes much easier to recognize when and why you should decline certain requests. Reflecting on your goals, values, and boundaries gives you a solid foundation to make these decisions with confidence. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." This quote underscores the importance of self-awareness in guiding our actions and decisions. Consider your goals. What do you want to achieve in your personal and professional life? When you have a vision for your future, it's easier to see which requests align with your path and which do not. For instance, if your goal is to improve your health, saying no to late-night outings might be necessary. Your values also play a significant role. If honesty and integrity are important to you, being truthful about your limits and politely declining when you can't commit fully shows respect for both yourself and others. Boundaries are equally essential. They define the space within which you can operate, comfortably and effectively. Setting boundaries helps you avoid overcommitment and burnout. By understanding and respecting your boundaries, you gain control over your time and energy, making it easier to say no without guilt. Ultimately, saying no is an act of empowerment. It allows you to live authentically, making decisions that honor your true priorities. So take a moment to reflect on your goals, values, and boundaries. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics and other great thinkers, and remember that every no is a step towards a more focused, balanced, and fulfilling life. 2. Practice self-awareness. Understanding and practicing self-awareness is crucial, especially when you find yourself in situations where saying no feels uncomfortable or overwhelming. Self-awareness is like an internal compass that helps you navigate through life's challenging moments. It starts with being mindful of your feelings and recognizing those subtle cues that tell you something isn't quite right. Maybe it's a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or an incessant feeling of dread. These are your body's ways of signaling that you need to take a step back and assess the situation. For instance, think about a time when a colleague asked you to take on an extra project at work. Your immediate reaction might have been to agree, not wanting to disappoint them or appear unhelpful. However, a part of you knew that your plate was already full. By being self-aware, you can acknowledge these internal signals and understand that it's okay to prioritize your well-being over additional responsibilities. There's a famous quote by Viktor Frankl that states, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." This quote perfectly encapsulates the essence of self-awareness. It's about finding that moment of pause before reacting, allowing yourself to choose a response that aligns with your values and limits. In modern life, we are constantly bombarded with requests and demands from various directions: work, family, friends, and even social media. Each demand pulls at your time and energy, often leaving you feeling drained and overwhelmed. Consider a scenario where your friend asks you to help them move on a weekend when you had planned some much-needed relaxation time. Your instinct might be to say yes, fearing that saying no could damage your friendship. However, by practicing self-awareness, you can evaluate how helping out would impact your well-being and schedule. You might find that offering to help for a shorter period or suggesting another day would be a more balanced approach, allowing you to maintain your commitment to yourself while still being supportive. Now take a moment to reflect. How often do you find yourself agreeing to things out of obligation rather than genuine willingness? How does this impact your mental and emotional health? By asking these questions, you encourage a deeper understanding of your patterns and the motivations behind your decisions. As you become more attuned to your feelings and reactions, you'll notice that saying no becomes less daunting. It transforms from an act of rejection into one of self-care and respect. Each time you honor your limits, you're reinforcing your worth and reinforcing to others that your time and energy are valuable. In conclusion, the lesson here is clear. Practicing self-awareness is not just about recognizing when you're uncomfortable or overwhelmed. It's about giving yourself the permission to prioritize your well-being. By doing so, you empower yourself to make decisions that reflect your true needs and desires, fostering a healthier and more balanced life. So, the next time you feel that familiar pang of discomfort at the prospect of saying no, take a deep breath, tune into your internal signals, and choose the path that honors your self-awareness and well-being. 3. Start small. All right, let's dive into this essential topic, saying no, particularly for those who struggle with rejecting others. Now, I want you to imagine starting small. Begin by saying no to minor requests. This approach might seem simple, but it's a powerful way to build your confidence and get comfortable with setting boundaries. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your assertiveness. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. When you start with small rejections, like declining a coffee date when you're swamped with work, you gradually prepare yourself for bigger situations where a firm no might be necessary. This incremental approach is supported by none other than Aristotle, who wisely said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Each small step you take is a step towards excellence in protecting your time and energy. Imagine this scenario. Your coworker asks you to cover their shift for the third time this month. You've had a long week and need that day to recharge. Instead of immediately saying yes out of guilt, try this. Politely decline, saying you've already made plans. Notice how it feels. Did the world end? Likely not. In fact, you'll probably feel a sense of relief and empowerment. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about recognizing and honoring your own needs, which in turn allows you to be more present and effective in your other commitments. As Warren Buffett famously said, The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Think about that. How much more focused and successful could you be if you said no more often? Now, let's engage with this concept a bit more. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed because you couldn't say no? What small requests could you start declining to practice this skill? Reflecting on these questions helps deepen your understanding and application of the lesson. It's important to recognize that saying no to others often means saying yes to yourself. By starting small, you build a foundation of assertiveness that will serve you in more significant situations. You're training yourself to prioritize your well-being, which is crucial for long-term success and happiness. Remember, it's a journey. As you practice saying no to the smaller things, you'll find it becomes easier to set boundaries in more challenging scenarios. You'll notice a positive shift in how others respect your time and decisions. This is not just about saying no. It's about transforming your relationship with your own limits and capacities. Embrace this journey with patience and persistence, and watch how it transforms your interactions and self-respect. So what are the first small requests you'll start saying no to? Think about it, and take that first step today. If you've watched up to this point, you're already on the path to mastering the art of saying no with confidence. Comment below with "confidently say no" to affirm your commitment to these empowering techniques. Don't go anywhere. There's still a wealth of knowledge we want to share with you in this video. Stay until the end to uncover the secrets that will help you stand your ground gracefully. 4. Be direct and clear. To effectively communicate your boundaries, it is essential to be direct and clear when declining requests. Using straightforward language not only ensures your message is understood, but also demonstrates respect for both yourself and the other person. For instance, instead of getting entangled in lengthy explanations or justifications, a simple, "I'm sorry, I can't commit to this," is often sufficient. This approach is not about being harsh or unkind. It's about valuing your time and energy, and by extension, teaching others to do the same. As Seneca wisely noted, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. In modern life, where distractions and demands are endless, being clear and concise with your no can help you reclaim control over your schedule and priorities. Imagine a scenario where you're asked to take on an additional project at work, but you know it will stretch you too thin. Instead of providing a convoluted reason, simply stating, "I appreciate the opportunity, but I must focus on my current commitments to ensure quality," will convey your point effectively. This directness not only saves time, but also leaves little room for misinterpretation or pressure to reconsider. Similarly, in personal relationships, being clear about your boundaries is crucial. If a friend invites you to an event that you are unable to attend, a straightforward response like, "I won't be able to make it, but thank you for thinking of me," shows appreciation while maintaining your boundary. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." By being direct, you embody this principle, demonstrating integrity and self-respect. In today's fast-paced world, learning to say no directly and clearly is not just a skill but a necessity. It allows you to protect your mental and emotional well-being and ensures that you are dedicating your time to what truly matters. Remember, every yes to one thing is a no to something else. So, be intentional with your responses, and let your no be a testament to your commitment to a balanced and meaningful life. Relating this to modern life, think of the countless emails, social invitations, and extra tasks that come your way daily. Each one has the potential to derail your focus and productivity. By mastering the art of a clear and direct no, you can safeguard your time and energy for the things that align with your goals and values. This isn't about being selfish. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring them. So the next time you're faced with a request that doesn't serve your best interests, remember the words of Epictetus and take a step toward mastering yourself by confidently and clearly saying no. 5. Offer alternatives. Saying no can be one of the toughest challenges for people who fear rejecting others, but it's crucial for maintaining your own boundaries and well-being. One effective way to handle such situations is by offering alternatives. This approach allows you to remain considerate and helpful while still standing firm on your limits. Let's say a colleague asks you to take on a project that would overwhelm your already packed schedule. Instead of flatly refusing, you could respond with something like, "I appreciate you thinking of me for this, but my current workload is quite heavy. However, I can help you brainstorm ideas or recommend someone who might be available to assist." This not only shows your willingness to support, but also asserts your need to prioritize your own tasks. Think about a time when you were at a crossroads between your own commitments and someone else's request. Maybe a friend needed help moving on a day when you had planned some much-needed downtime. You might say, "I can't help you move on Saturday because I have plans that I can't change, but I'm free on Friday evening to help you pack." By offering an alternative, you demonstrate empathy without sacrificing your own needs. Offering alternatives doesn't just ease the sting of rejection for the other person, it also reinforces your own boundaries and reduces guilt. It's a way of saying, "I care about your needs, but I also have to take care of mine." This method fosters mutual respect and often leads to more understanding and cooperation from others. Reflect on situations where someone has set boundaries with you. Didn't you appreciate their honesty and the fact that they still tried to help in a different way? As we navigate our fast-paced lives, we often encounter requests that push our limits. Learning to say no while offering alternatives is a skill that can help you maintain your sanity and productivity. For instance, if a colleague asks for your assistance on a tight deadline, you could suggest, "I can't commit to this right now, but I can review your work next week when I have more time." This not only helps you manage your workload, but also provides a solution that could benefit both parties in the long run. Think about how this strategy could apply in your daily interactions. How often do you find yourself saying yes out of obligation, only to feel overwhelmed later? What if you started offering alternatives instead? By doing so, you're not only protecting your own time and energy, but also teaching others to respect your boundaries. Ultimately, the goal is to communicate your limits clearly while still being supportive. By offering alternatives, you create a win-win situation where both parties feel valued and respected. The next time you find yourself in a position where saying no feels difficult, remember that providing an alternative can be a powerful tool. It's a way to maintain your integrity and ensure that your own needs are met, without feeling like you've let someone down. 6. Use I statements. When you're trying to say no without hurting someone's feelings, one of the most effective strategies is to use I statements. This technique allows you to frame your refusal in terms of your own needs and feelings, which can make the message easier for the other person to accept. Instead of saying, "You're asking too much," you can say, "I need to focus on my work." This subtle shift in language takes the pressure off the other person and places it on your own situation. It's about expressing your boundaries in a way that doesn't feel like an attack or criticism. For example, imagine a friend asks you to help them move on a weekend when you've already planned some much-needed downtime. Instead of a blunt refusal that might cause hurt feelings, you could say, "I really need this weekend to recharge. I've been feeling overwhelmed, and I need to take care of my mental health." By focusing on your needs, you communicate that it's not about them asking too much, but about your own limitations and self-care. This method aligns with the wisdom of Stephen R. Covey, who said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." Understanding your own needs and communicating them clearly helps build trust and respect in your relationships. Have you ever found yourself agreeing to something because you feared the other person's reaction? What if you could turn those moments into opportunities to practice self-respect and honesty? By using I statements, you not only protect your time and energy, but also model healthy boundaries for others. Imagine how your relationships might improve if everyone felt safe to express their true needs without fear of judgment. The art of saying no is about finding that balance between kindness and self-respect. It's not just about turning someone down. It's about doing so in a way that maintains the integrity of the relationship. Next time you're faced with a request that doesn't align with your priorities, pause and consider how you can use an I statement to communicate your response. How can you honor your own needs while still being considerate of the other person's feelings? This practice not only helps you assert your boundaries, but also fosters a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Reflecting on the words of Brené Brown, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Have you ever experienced the relief and empowerment that comes from setting a boundary? How did it change your perspective on future requests? By consistently using I statements, you begin to create a personal environment where your needs are recognized and respected, which in turn encourages others to do the same. It's a small change in language that can make a big difference in your interactions, helping you to say no with grace and confidence. So next time, remember to speak from your own perspective and watch how it transforms your ability to communicate your boundaries effectively. 7. Anticipate reactions. Anticipating reactions is a powerful strategy for anyone who fears rejecting others. Imagine the scenario where you're bracing yourself to say no. The anxiety stems not just from the act itself, but from the uncertainty of how the other person will respond. By preparing for possible responses and having a plan for how to handle them, you can significantly reduce this anxiety and approach the situation with greater confidence. Consider the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset is crucial. When you anticipate reactions, you're not caught off guard. For instance, if you expect someone to be disappointed, you can prepare a compassionate yet firm response that acknowledges their feelings without compromising your boundaries. Expanding on this, let's consider a few potential responses. If someone reacts with disappointment, you might say, "I understand this isn't what you hoped for, but I need to be honest about my capacity right now." If they respond with anger, a calm and composed reply such as, "I see this as upsetting for you, but my decision is firm," can help maintain your stance while diffusing tension. Remember, preparing for reactions doesn't mean scripting every word, but rather understanding the emotional landscape you might encounter and deciding in advance how to navigate it. Think about how this applies in modern life. In our fast-paced world, we're often pressured to agree to things we don't have the time, energy, or interest for, whether it's taking on extra work, attending social events, or doing favors. By anticipating reactions, you're not just preparing to say no, but also empowering yourself to stay true to your priorities. As Seneca wisely noted, "He who is brave is free." In this context, bravery comes from the preparedness to handle whatever comes your way when you assert your boundaries. Moreover, this practice is not just about avoiding negative outcomes, it's about fostering respect. When you say no thoughtfully and handle reactions with grace, people learn to respect your time and decisions. Over time, this can lead to healthier, more balanced relationships where your yes carries genuine meaning and commitment. This approach is also a profound act of self-care. By managing your responses, you're taking control of your emotional well-being, ensuring that you're not overwhelmed or stretched too thin. To sum up, anticipating reactions allows you to say no with confidence and integrity. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, thereby reducing stress and enhancing your ability to communicate effectively. Next time you're faced with the challenge of saying no, remember the Stoic principles and prepare yourself not just for the act, but for the aftermath. This preparation is a testament to your strength and self-respect, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling life. In conclusion, the ability to say no is an essential skill for anyone seeking a balanced and fulfilling life. It's a powerful tool that fosters self-respect, reduces stress, and allows you to prioritize what truly matters. Each no you say to distractions and unnecessary obligations is a yes to your goals, well-being, and personal growth. Remember, as the Stoics taught us, true freedom and happiness come from within, from our ability to govern our own lives and set boundaries that reflect our values. So, start embracing the power of no today, and watch as it transforms your life, bringing you closer to the person you aspire to be. What are some areas in your life where you can begin practicing the power of no? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on living a balanced and fulfilling life.